Today we're doing a homemade potato gnocchi with meatballs, and we're doing this on a cold winter day. It's going to warm you up. I'm going to show you how to make it. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd be highly appreciative. Okay, everybody knows what time it is. We're doing the sofrito. So what I'm doing is putting an onion, carrots, and celery in the food processor. And I'm coming in with some extra virgin olive oil of your choice. We're going to grind this up. Chop this up, rather. And this is our consistency. It's like a puree, so it's going to basically disappear into the sauce. Okay, so with our meatballs here, when you're rolling them, you always want your hands to be slightly damp. The first thing I'm going to do is just come in with some chopped parsley, and I use I'm using a half a pound of veal, a half a pound of ground pork sausage, and then a half a pound of 80-20 ground chuck. And then I did about half of this bushel here. So this is the other half. So I grounded the other half down. If you're making 3 pounds of meat, or 3 pounds of meatballs, then you would use the whole thing. But I feel like that might be a little too much parsley. Then we're just going to come in with some salt and pepper. So salt, pepper, come in with some salt here. Not too much salt because we're actually going to be using some, yes, Pecorino Romano cheese. Now you can use Parmigiano Reggiano. Today I'm using Pecorino. Pecorino is the sheep's milk and the sheep's milk cheese. And I'm using about half of this because the other half is going to go into the sauce. We're using about half of this here. Okay, and we're doing 1 egg. And I just did it in the same bowl as my parsley just to kind of clear the bowl out there. And the one ingredient that I actually do measure, this is the only ingredient that I actually measure, is the breadcrumbs. Now, with the breadcrumbs, I do usually 1 cup for 3 pounds of meatballs. Today, I'm actually doing half a cup. And I found that that's a good ratio there. Okay, and then our final step is to do one clove of garlic here. And I'm crushing the garlic. Now, traditionally, this dish normally doesn't actually have meatballs with it. I like the addition of meatballs in gnocchi. For some reason, I think it balances it out pretty well. You don't actually have to use meatballs, but today I'm doing that, and I'm actually doing smaller meatballs today because I don't want the meatballs to take over. Like the Sunday sauce, typically those are going to be bigger. These are going to be a lot smaller meatballs. Okay, so now we're going to roll out the meatballs here. This is our mixture, and I'm just going to get a little bit of meat here. I might even go slightly smaller, maybe, because they do get a little smaller when you cook them. But this is sort of the size that I want. See here, the size. And this is our perfectly imperfect meatballs. Now, if you even want to make them a little smaller or big, well, you don't want to do them too big again. So if you want to make them smaller, you can. And this is our potatoes. I'm doing about 6 to 7 potatoes. I'm going to boil them in water. We're going to grind them up in the ricer. And then we're going to do about 300, maybe 300 to maybe like 320 grams of flour. And I'll put the ingredients below so everybody could see. Okay, so we have our potatoes here. I did a little bit of extra cleaning, you know, the brown spots. And then we're going to cook this maybe 10-15 minutes. I'm actually just going to come in with a little bit of salt. Okay, now we're going to start our sofrito and start cooking our meatballs because it's going to take a little time. And we're just going to be generous with our extra virgin olive oil. Okay, our next step is to put in our sofrito. And we're on low heat. We're not on high. We're not on medium, just low. This is going to cook for a while. Okay, so once it's been cooking for a bit, we're actually just going to come right in with our passata. And today I'm using Cento, very popular brand, a good tomato. And I'm actually going to use 2 of these. And we're going to nullify it. We're going to put some water in the bottle to clear it out. Okay, and then we're obviously going to come in with a little bit of pepper and salt. Salt and pepper. Be generous with the pepper. Be sparing with the salt. That's my motto. And as we're cooking our sauce, we're actually just going to come in with our meatballs. Yes, you heard it, our meatballs. Actually just going to put them in the sauce here. I'm going to do, actually just going to cover them with sauce like so. And sometimes you could fry them, but since they're smaller, didn't want to do that. I didn't want to break them up. So this is how we're going to go about it here. Okay, now that our potatoes are cooked, what I am going to do is I'm going to chop them first in half so they fit into the ricer, just like so. And it's going to make it easier when we feed it through, actually grind it up into smaller pieces. Okay. Kind of started the process. Okay, and we're going to come in with our well technique. Yes, you guessed it. And we got the walls of Jericho up here, so that way it doesn't go all over the place. We're using 3 eggs. And now if you get some shell, remember shell attracts shell, so you could dig it up with the shell. I think I'm actually okay here. And we're going to slowly start to break this up here in the middle. Okay, now we got our flour. And if you need, I like to slowly add in the flour because if you need more, you can always add more, but you obviously can't add less. Once you got the flour in there, it's pretty much in there. Come in with this. This is a really handy tool here if you have it. Okay, we're going to start kneading here. See, when I push my finger down, I'm starting to get that consistency. And remember, this is going to sit covered for about 20 minutes. Okay, so now our dough, and I'll admittedly say I think it would be good to do this overnight because it's going to get to the best consistency. This is actually going to do for us though, and we're going to just cut some of our dough here just like this. And we're going to start rolling out our gnocchi here. And it's good that we have a lot of flour to help us out. And remember, this is not a rush. This is just a relaxing process. We're going to get them to our liking here. And flour is your best friend. It is there for you. Okay, so now we got our gnocchi rolled out. We're going to actually just start cutting the gnocchi, and we're going to actually just come in at an angle here. So we're just going to come in at an angle. We're just going to do that with all the dough. Now we got our gnocchi here, and admittedly could have probably used a baking tray, but we should be okay here. We're just going to, again, you always break your basil. You never cut it. You never cut it because then you leave the flavor on the chopping board. We're just going to fold that in. Now that our water's boiling, you know what time it is. We're going to come in with some rock salt. Okay, now we're going to put our gnocchi into our boiling water, and it doesn't take very long. Probably only like 3 minutes. All right, now we're ready for the gnocchi and the sauce. All right, and this is our gnocchi with our sauce, and I'm going to show you how we're going to plate it here in a second. And plated it here, and had some cheese on top with some Pecorino Romano. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.